Let me ask you something uncomfortable. What if the thing you've been blaming yourself for, every failed diet, every plateau, every time you lost the weight and then watched it come back, what if none of that was actually your fault? What if the industry selling you the solution was the one engineering the failure? Here's a number: 95%. That is the failure rate for commercial diets. 95 out of every 100 people who lose weight on a program will gain it all back within 5 years. The companies running these programs have known this for decades. They have the research, they've seen the studies, they watch the data come in year after year, and they kept selling anyway. Why? Because think about what a successful customer actually means for this business. A person who loses the weight, keeps it off, and never needs to buy another program again? That person is gone. They're not a customer anymore. They're a story on a website and then silence. But the person who loses 20 pounds, gains back 25, and comes back 6 months later looking for something new? That person is revenue. Recurring revenue. The kind that builds a $72 billion industry and keeps it growing. Your failure is not a flaw in their model. Your failure is the model. And once you understand that, you can't unsee it. Let's go back to where it started. 1963, Queens, New York. A housewife named Jean Nadech had lost some weight and started inviting her neighbors over to talk about it. Women showed up, a lot of them. And Jean was smart enough to understand what they were actually coming for. It wasn't the diet. It was the room. The permission to say out loud something they'd only ever felt alone with. The relief of finding out other people were carrying the same shame. Jean recognized she wasn't sitting on a diet plan. She was sitting on a community of people willing to pay not to feel alone. Weight Watchers was born. By 1968, it went public at an $80 million valuation, and that number sent a message to every investor on Wall Street. Shame, sold correctly, scales beautifully. What followed was an arms race. Jenny Craig, Slim Fast, Nutrisystem, Richard Simmons in a sequined tank top dancing on your television. Each product offered a slightly different flavor of the same thing: hope, packaged and priced by the month. But notice what none of them ever sold: a permanent solution. Because a permanent solution would end the business. The industry was built on repetition, not resolution. Now here's the part they never put in the brochure. The part that changes everything once you know it. When you restrict calories, which is what every diet actually does, your body responds with something remarkable. It adapts. Your metabolism slows down to compensate, burning fewer calories at rest. This isn't weakness. This is an ancient survival mechanism your body has been running for hundreds of thousands of years. When food becomes scarce, your body conserves energy. It doesn't know you're following a program. It thinks you're starving. So you plateau. Progress stalls. You push harder. Eventually something breaks. You return to normal eating. But your metabolism doesn't fully snap back. You now need fewer calories than you did before you started just to maintain the same weight. The pounds return, often with interest. You end up heavier than when you started. Your body's chemistry quietly working against you, and the world tells you that you lacked willpower. Scientists call this metabolic adaptation. The industry calls it your fault. The most devastating proof of this came from a television show. Researchers followed contestants from The Biggest Loser years after filming ended. Most had regained their weight, but the real finding buried in that data was far more disturbing. One contestant's metabolism had permanently slowed by 800 calories a day. To maintain his weight, he would have to eat 800 fewer calories than a person his exact size who had never dieted, every single day for the rest of his life. His body had been permanently rewired against him, and when the weight came back, the world called him weak. That wasn't weakness, that was biology. And the industry built an empire on you not knowing the difference. So how do you sell something you know doesn't work? You become very, very good at advertising. Before and after photos. The before shot features bad lighting, slouched posture, a tired expression, unflattering clothing. The after shot is professional lighting, tall posture, months of grooming, and a smile. Research has shown that the exact same person can appear 20 pounds heavier simply through posture and lighting changes. The transformation you're being sold is a photography technique with a monthly fee attached. Testimonials. You see the one person who lost 60 pounds and kept it off. You don't see the 19 who didn't, because they're at home blaming themselves, not recording success stories. That's survivorship bias. The industry serves it to you as inspiration. Then there's the language. They stopped saying diet because consumers wised up to that word. Now it's a lifestyle change. Sounds more empowering, less clinical, more sustainable. But strip away the new branding and you're still being sold caloric restriction with a better logo. The word changed. The failure rate didn't. Clinically proven. Proven to produce weight loss for 6 months in a controlled setting. The long-term data? Not in the ad. You were supposed to fill in those blanks yourself, and they counted on exactly that. And supplements. The supplement industry operates with almost no meaningful regulation. Companies can print nearly any claim on a label without proving it's true. Garcinia cambogia, raspberry ketones, green coffee extract. One television doctor called a supplement a revolutionary fat buster in front of millions of viewers. He was eventually hauled before Congress to answer for it. The companies behind the products? They'd already made their money and moved on to the next ingredient. The industry didn't collapse when people got more skeptical. It evolved. Fitness apps now use the same behavioral psychology techniques as social media. Streaks, notifications, progress bars, gamification. All designed to maximize engagement. But engagement and results are not the same thing. If you achieve your goal and delete the app, they lose a paying subscriber. The business model was never built around your transformation. It was built around your retention. Social media handed the industry something even more valuable. An army of unpaid marketers. Young women posting transformation photos, many taken hours apart with lighting changes, editing software, and in many cases pharmaceutical assistance. Selling programs off the back of results that were never naturally achievable. Followers buy in. Followers fail. Followers blame themselves. The influencer collects the affiliate commission and posts again next week. And now we've entered the pharmaceutical chapter. GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy produce real, measurable weight loss by genuinely suppressing appetite. They work, but they cost over $1,000 a month. They require indefinite use. Stop taking them and the weight returns. And they cause shortages for diabetic patients who depend on them because the off-label weight loss market was simply more profitable. Meanwhile, celebrities were quietly using these drugs while publicly crediting clean eating and discipline. And millions of real people spent months destroying themselves trying to replicate results that were being produced chemically behind closed doors. Here is what this industry actually produces at scale: eating disorders, clinical anxiety, depression, and a generation of people who have been taught to experience their own body as a problem, requiring constant, paid intervention to solve. Yo-yo dieting, the cycle of repeatedly losing and regaining weight, is independently associated with cardiovascular damage and chronic psychological distress. In other words, the treatment the industry sold you for the problem they created is often more damaging than the original condition, and they're not done expanding. Teenagers are now the fastest growing target market. Body shame installed early produces lifelong customers. The one approach that research actually supports, health at every size, is actively dismissed by the industry as giving up. It's the only model that doesn't require you to keep buying. So of course they fight it. You haven't been failing the diet. The diet was engineered to fail you. The entire industry depends on you never knowing which one is true. They don't fear your failure. They budget for it. Understanding that is the first real step toward opting out of a system.